How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for speaking with me about your fantastic show. I blew through the entire the entire series.
Everything.
I saw everything and obviously very hard-hitting, but such so good and such a wonderful cast. So, my first question for you is how did you get to be a part of this?
Well, I was lucky, I guess. I mean, I auditioned for it and I got it. Pretty simple story. But I mean, I can tell you about the process and everything, but it was just like, yeah, I just got the self-taping. You don't get a lot of tapes for such good things, and with
Mm-mm.
such also like an incredible team, like Tommy, the director, and Erica. So I taped for it, and then I just had Zooms with them. And I remember doing the Zooms, and I was like, I wish I will get to spend some time with these people, and I'm so glad that I did. I mean, yeah.
Now, had you read the book prior to auditioning or did you pick it up afterwards?
So I kind of avoid Holocaust materials
Yeah,
actually
I don't blame you.
because yeah, I've been very much surrounded by it my whole life.
Yeah.
So I did not read the book before. I sent the tape and then I went to dinner at my dad's place. And then I told them, yeah, I sent this tape. And they were like, oh, I read the book. I have it here. So I was just like, let me borrow it.
Yeah.
So then I just started reading it while I was still like in the process of casting. And the book is really something special.
Yeah, yeah, and I find it almost like a what's the word I'm looking for? Meant to be when you're sitting there at dinner and he's like, "I have the book," and you're like, "Wait, what?"
Oh my God, no. And also as I was reading it, like their house
Yeah.
is in the street is called Warszawska Street,
Hmm.
if I remember correctly. And I was just getting like my house is in that street, like in street Warszawski. So I was
Oh
just
my.
like, hmm, like all these little signs, you're like, this sounds like it's for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like everything just lined up, it sounded like.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So for you, obviously, it's very hard hitting and it hits very close to home for you. But for playing this character as an actress, is there any separation for you between, your real life and what's happening? Or did you just like, I'm going to blend everything that I've learned about my own family's history and my own self into this character?
Um, Separation in terms of like, can you explain this more?
So, like when you are playing this character, she's already an established character in the book. The author, very much a part of the series. So, did you kind of just let it be what is on page, or did you allow what's happening, obviously in your own personal life and your family's history, to blend into how you portrayed this character?
Yeah, I think there's no way to not let it blend in.
Hmm.
Because it's so, I mean, even if you play a character that has nothing to do with your family's history, but it's just like, I don't know, there's a situation, you have to find a way to understand what's going on to bring yourself into it. Otherwise, it's just like disconnected. So, and specifically here, yeah, I was feeling very much connected to it, and I really didn't realize before that it would be so meaningful because as I was doing it, I was like, this is what my grandmother went through. This is what my other grandmother went through. I'm like, shit. So it really, I spoke to my dad a lot. I spoke to my mom a lot during these days. Yeah, it kind of has to blend in, but you have it so beautifully already like served to you in the story, but just you always bring something of yourself. That's how this like magic happens.
So, how do you decompress at the end of the day? What were you doing to be like, okay, I got to leave all of this hard hitting stuff on set and out now I just need to relax.
Um, I think I decompress also between takes.
Good for
Like,
you.
yeah, I just like I do it and then I'm like, so what's up? Like it's all good. I really managed to, unless you have like a really, really hard scene and you kind of just need to remain focused just
Mhm.
for the benefit of the scene. But usually I don't really let it take over me. Um, there were some days where I was just like watching some documentaries because I've been avoiding this topic my whole life. I was like, wait, maybe I should, I don't know, get back to it. And then when you watch documentaries about it, you're like, oh God, this is just so
Mhm.
painful. Um, but basically this whole set experience was just so fun. I think you met probably all of our cast if you were talking to us last weekend.
Mhm.
Everybody's like really incredible people, and we really had the most amazing time. So we were just like every night we had dinners. We went to play pool. We found this really weird pool place, like snooker pool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
in Bucharest where we were shooting, which was like this weird place that was just for pool and was it looked like a palace. It was very weird. And we played their pool every now and then. We went to play tennis. We went like we did game nights. We went to play like we learned poker. So we really just played a lot of games. We had a bar that was like the first month we were all in the same hotel, and then
Mhm.
when we stayed longer, we all had like apartments and stuff like that. But most of us were staying in the same place. But when we were at that hotel, it was kind of like in the center of the city. So the bar of the hotel, which was called the English bar, just became our place. So we were just all like, okay, English bar. And then we would just be there. We'll bring our like games to the
Mhm.
bar. We had like Dixit and code names. I don't know. It's like really beautiful games. And we
Yeah.
would just play and talk and just really have fun. So that was, yeah, we were just lucky. Yeah.
Well, that was actually you led right into my next question because I did have the opportunity to talk to majority of your cast last week. And then, you know, and everything I kept hearing was how much fun you guys had. And I feel like you had to find that, like not find that fun, but have that fun, because this is, I, as I've noted many times, a hard hitting show that requires a lot of trust between cast members. And it sounds like you guys were able to build on that trust by hanging out and being around each other and finding fun.
For sure, for sure. I mean, I think it also helped. I also think that Tommy and Erica Lipez, like the showrunner,
Mhm.
and Georgia, Georgia Hunter, and Fiona, the casting director, I feel like they were all like once people have really good souls, and they choose who to work with, so they also choose good people.
Yeah.
And so somehow the people they chose all matched really well together. And so yeah, we just had fun. I guess, yeah, there's no way to be working on something so sad and not have fun. Like if you do that, then you're crazy. Like you're
Yeah.
insane. But they just did like they really chose good people. And we also had a few weeks before we started working that we just like rehearsed and had time together. So it kind of built, but it built really fast. Like it
Yeah.
built from our first Zoom when we didn't even meet each other.
Yeah.
There is something, they're all really friendly and cute people. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can tell on screen that you guys do enjoy being with each other, and the chemistry, no matter who you guys are on screen with, just screams off. Like it's so
That's
amazing. And
fun to hear.
you give such amazing performances. And I think it's because you guys were able to build that trust with each other that you could just be like, okay, let's just do it and let's give the best performances we can.
Yeah, 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 definitely. And they were all like amazing partners. Like whenever you need something, you ask and you get
Yeah.
it. Like we're all, yeah, so much support and love. It's like really um, heaven.
Well, your character also spends a lot of her scenes with her daughter. What was
Yeah.
that like for you?
Um, I had a daughter that was like, it's funny because I had a baby that was like a bunch of babies, of course. You have to switch every time someone cries or like, and it's always like that when you have a baby that when the scene is like the baby cries, then the baby is like super relaxed and sleeping, like the real baby. And then the baby is super relaxed. So we have like a baby who's crying. I was like,
Yep.
we're trying to get one take when like they're silent. So it was interesting. I thought about it while we were shooting because everyone had their own scene partner, and
Yeah.
I had mostly a baby or a child. Um, which is like challenging because I think it takes a lot of energy just because you have this little person next to you and you just need to be very sensitive, and it's not like cut and then you're like, okay mate, so I'm just gonna go and have coffee. It's like, oh, so how are you? You want to
Yeah.
keep them safe, so it takes like it takes more energy, but also in a good way because you have like a partner that's like, I don't like, it's just a real human being,
Yeah.
and what they give to you is really like it's realness.
Yeah.
And so it creates more moments of like something unpredictable, and it's just like kids are like the heart of things, you know, it's the heart of the world. So it's just they bring it wherever they are. So it
Yeah.
was great. Yeah. And they were amazing, all of them.
Well, and as you said, you're kind of, for a lot of them, this is maybe first or second time in on TV or in a movie, and you want to provide them with a memory that's like, okay, I don't want this for an experience to be ruined for you. I want you to be able to keep going. So add on, not only do you have to perform in a scene, but you're adding on the pressure of, I want to make this a good time for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not really a pressure. I mean, there were moments, I mean, it's not really a pressure, just that I realized it like looking back, I was like, oh, there were no moments like in between to kind of like
Yeah.
take a pause because you're always with them. But it's, I mean, it's a part of it. And it's also, I guess, a part of being a mom.
Yeah.
So
Yep. That's exactly it. It is no downtime.
there's no pause, there's no break. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's really important to show them, like to keep them happy. Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there something that you look back on during your time of making this series that just stands out, a memory or a day on set that just, stands out among them all?
Um, I don't know, you know, because it's weird. I find it like it's like it's not interesting because all days were really good.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to think if there was anything like there was this scene that was like a really hardcore scene that we did like in episode 4, and that was yeah, what it was. It was also, yeah, I don't even know how to talk about it. It was really, that was memorable, but
Hmm.
also, again, was also fun. But also not fun, like not fun in a, it was just like, it was meaningful. I think that as I grow up, I do more projects. I'm very like, okay, I come, I do my lines, I do the job, I go
Yeah.
home. Not in a like it means nothing, but kind of like in it's cool, everything is great, you
Yeah.
know? And then this was personal and this was meaningful. And I didn't expect it to be when I was preparing for it. Like they asked me, do you want someone to be there with you, like emotional support?
Yeah.
And I was like, no worries, no need for that. I
Yeah.
know that it's not really happening to me, so I don't need someone to like tell me it's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm good. But although it was really nice that they offered it, but I was just like, I don't need that. And I really didn't need it. But I just like, I was surprised by the fact that when I was there, I was like, okay, like I feel it.
Hmm.
It's here with us. Like it's a thing. It's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What would you
definitely.
say? Because I feel like, and I mean, I would hope this would kind of be the case with everything project that you do, you learn a little bit more about yourself, something you weren't expecting or something you took from the character you played. For this series, what was something you learned about yourself or you took from your character that you're like, this is something that I'm gonna carry with me?
That's a cute question because I think it's true. Like, but I also think it's like it's true about life. And I remember when I
Yeah.
finished the project, I was like, I learned a few things about myself, and I was kind of like giving it a moment and kind of like honoring it. I was like, okay, this is over, and it gave me all these gifts, you know? Um, I don't know if it's from the character specifically. I think it was just like, it was 7 months of work, and it was full of like so many moments. I think I got so many gifts from it. Um, I really did, like, as cheesy as it is, I got the gift of like the people that I
Yeah.
have with me till today. Um, and I got the gift of doing something really meaningful, and to feel like what it's like to do also a project that you're actually really proud of. Because, sometimes you do projects and you're like, it was fun, but I don't love the writing, or it was fun, but this actor was
Yeah.
really not nice, so I didn't enjoy it. So you have all these things, and I was like, it kind of gave me a really high standard for the next project,
I can only imagine.
which I'm kind of freaked out about, because like, can it be? Will it? Is it possible? But I was just like, I finished this and I was like, this is how I want my life to be. I want
Yeah.
projects to be like this. I want the people to feel like this. I want the writing to be so good. I want the directors to be so amazing to work with. Like, it was kind of like so perfect. I was like, it was kind of like life was telling me, this is what you want. And I was like, yes, that's what I
Yes.
want.
That's
So that's
amazing.
what
But
I
that
am.
is, you want, as many experiences like that as possible because they help shape you and the type of actress you are and, what you look for in roles and what you look for set demeanor, how people should be acting and all of that. So it's extremely important.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
It
for
is.
my final question for you today, because I feel like we could be on here for hours and then you'd get nothing done today.
Yeah.
Is why do you think it's so important for fans to watch this series, especially with everything that's happening right now in the world? Why do you think it's so important that people watch this series?
It's important um because it tells, I always assumed the past was in the past. Um and I think we're learning these days that it's not so much in the past as we thought it was. Um it's about anti-Semitism, but it's about hate. It's just
Mhm.
about hate, because it's just weird. Like, even having conversations with people, like, I'm in Belgium right now, and I spoke to this person. He was like, "Oh, you're from Israel," and then we started speaking. I cried, like, it was like a 2 hour conversation. I cried like 5 times, like
Yeah.
sobbing, because he was like a normal person, but he had no compassion. Like, I don't know. It was just weird. I realized that people don't understand many things,
Hmm.
and that hate is like something that, like, the people up there are just pouring into us, and they're just creating a lot of suffering, and yeah, it never ends. And
Hmm.
we just, like, if we forget the past, it will repeat itself, and it's
Yeah.
so weird to say it, but it is actually life. So it's just important to honor stories that actually
Yeah.
happen to people, and remember, it is
Yeah.
important to remember. And it's about love also, this show.
Yes.
So it's important to watch something about love.
Hmm. Well, and
Um,
hopefully learn something from it too. You know,
yeah, I hope.
I mean, I've been telling everyone to watch this. I said, be ready to cry, but it is well worth it. Because I hope people do learn something from it. And, we always say you can't rewrite the past, but it seems like we keep wanting to go back and
I
keep
know.
reliving it. And,
I know.
hopefully one day they'll realize all you need is love. That's it.
The Beatles said it.
Exactly.
He knew what they were talking about.
Well, I want to thank you so much for speaking with me today. I know there's a couple more episodes left for everyone to see, but I hope they enjoy it as much as I did.
Thank you so much. You're so kind. Thank you.